Nice. Hey everyone, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Turbo Depths, a deck that we've been playing on stream for a little while right now. Let me quickly find this double up, because I can hear myself. There we go. Yeah, Turbo Depths, of course, is a really cool deck, probably one of the fastest creature-based combo decks in the format. Running Dark Depths and Thespian Stage and Vampire Hexmage to combo out your opponent. Running some fast mana in Lotus Petal and Elvish Spirit Guide to hopefully get your 2020 out by turn 3. A really nice thing about this deck is that you're running main deck Pithing Needles to answer things like Wasteland or Karakas. And you also have Not of This World to counter things like Swords to Plowshares or maybe a bounce from Brazen Borrower, which is pretty sweet. One thing that is a little bit rough is the printing of Veil of Summer, which allows people who are playing decks like Bant Miracles to cast their Swords to Plowshares, allow a Not of This World to enter the stack, and then Veil it because Not of This World counters spells, and Veil of Summer makes Swords to Plowshares uncounterable, which is pretty big. So that's why it's really nice to have the Thoughtseizers, Inquisitions, and Duresses in the deck to make sure that your coast is clear. Because otherwise it's pretty hard to win. This deck doesn't have a mid-range strategy like something like Green-White Depths does, where you have another Reliquary and a whole playset of Elvish Reclaimer. You're kind of all in, so you do have to be a little bit patient at times with when you want to go for the combo. Sometimes you need to be aggressive and know when you just have to go for it. Luckily, we do have some interaction in the deck outside of hand disruption. We also have Crop Rotation and Sylvan Scrying. And the one-off Elvish Reclaimer to find cards like Bojuka Bog, Sajiri Step, Karakas, and Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter's in this deck over Wasteland because the majority of the time we'll be naming Wasteland with Pithing Needle, so it'll be nice to have something to interact with our opponent's mana base or utility lands that doesn't get hit by our own needles, which is cool. We've done pretty well on stream so far. We haven't got the 5-0, but we were very close on Sunday. We accidentally played a Dark Depths out when our opponent had a Thespian Stage out, but that is for, past times. I feel like those are the mistakes you have to make in Magic, because then you'll never do it again. And that is something that I'll definitely never do again, hopefully. To the board, this is very much Tom Hep's list. The only change that myself and Wes Wolf made, who's another legacy streamer from my town of Brisbane, you can find him at twitch.tv/WesWolf, is added in a Sylvan library for some of the more grindy matchups like Snow. We did drop the third Mindbreak Trap, which actually has been really good. We've played against a few test decks and other combo decks where Trap has been really solid, so perhaps in the long game, maybe going back to the third Trap is worth it, but otherwise it's really nice to have the library. Because this deck is usually going to combo out your opponent faster than they can set up a win through combat damage, you can be pretty aggressive with the Sylvan libraries, so I think it's nice to have one. I'm going to stream this, and then I'm going to stream another league after this with Depths, which with Green, White, Black Maverick, which should be pretty cool. And we're looking at a deck that is very close to, if not the same as Achilles, who's obviously been tearing it up with Maverick Online. I really wanted to run Fail at Our Retreat, so I want to see how it goes in this sort of list, and we'll see how it goes. Spoils for content tonight. Don't be it, you are correct. This should be pretty fun. So we'll get into a league. We're playing, where's Wolf? There he is. Hope you guys are well. Yeah, I wouldn't say that a Turbo Depths really necessarily needs to play any 3-drops. I think that most of the deck is pretty low to the curve. We are not playing this. We're going to change decks to this. Nice, nice. There we go. I think I will be playing Eternal Weekend next weekend, 100%, because it is pretty early for us, which is nice. It's on a Sunday, and my partner is away all weekend with her family, so I will get to play all Eternal Weekend, and I think I will stream it all. I might put up a hand thing just in case. I don't think I've got to the streamer level that needs it, but I think that it might be worth it for something like Eternal Weekend. I don't want to take any chances. But yeah, very cool to see Australians getting some good times for these Eternal Weekend tournaments, because in the past, things like challenges and PTQs aren't usually too friendly. There are some that are, but a lot of them take a little bit of time. This is a pretty interesting hand. So it's kind of just a very fast start. We have Thespian Stage, Urborg, and Dark Depth straight away, which is the combo. We have Lotus Petal as well for Pithy Needle on something like Wasteland, so I'm going to keep this. I'm not too sure what my opponent is on. Volk is interesting. Volk could be a majority of things. It could be Sneak and Show, it could be Rug Delver. Both of those do run Ponders, sometimes Preordains, Delvers, of course, a lot of 1-drops, so interesting to see a Volk opponent not have a turn 1 play. I don't really want to lead with the Dark Depth because it just gives away so much information straight away. I don't mind the Dark Depths because we have the second one. Hey Marin, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? I think I'm just going to go Stage, play the Petal to play around Daze, and then just cast the Needle on Wasteland here. This also means if I draw into another Lotus Petal, then I can just play the Dark Depths for turn. Or Elvish Spirit Guide, which allows me to combo off a turn earlier than if I played the Urborg. You're from Italy and play Legacy D&T? Very cool. Hopefully you've been testing some of the new cards. I know that Sky Apparition, I know that's not the full name of the card, but it seems to be as good as people are talking about, which is nice. I saw a pretty cool list in Modern that also went, I think it's gone 5-0 a few times now. That's just a modern D&T shell, just mono white as well, so that's pretty cool. And there is the Elvish Spirit Guide. I probably want to play on Oko, so thankfully we can just go Dark Depths Pass. Stifle isn't the worst, but we'll see. Yeah, XJ Cloud's doing really cool. So it's cool to see Phil on a the counters creature as a 4-of kind of build, like more aggressive build, and then XJ on just a more obviously playing the Stoneforge Mystic build, so more traditional with just the apparitions. Luminarch Aspiration. Thank you, Jack. That is it. Just an attack with Dreadhorde. That's going to be fine. Misty. Nothing from my opponent is really interesting. We are going to try to go for it here. If they have Stifle, they have Stifle. We at least have the Urborg to back it up. Yeah, they just have nothing. And thankfully that's just Dark Depth sometimes. Sometimes your opponent can have an answer, or sometimes they just don't, so... Yeah, I assume seeing the Dreadhorde early on, maybe it's not a Stifle, but you never know. This is an interesting one, because there's probably not too many cards that I want to actually board in. I'm not too sure if I probably want the Abrupt Decays because of all their threats being most likely Abrupt Decayable outside of Hooting Mandrill, so I do want to control some of their aggression. I'm not sure if like Sylvan Safekeeper is better than Not of This World, but I don't think something like Lightning Bolt is something that I'm really wanting to put myself or turn on more. They could play Submerge. Yeah, so Not of This World does get hit by Say if they go to Submerge and I go to Another This World, then they can Veil. Maybe Safekeep is better than the Not of This Worlds. Safekeep is interesting though because they do obviously get hit by Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning, and can also be O-Code. Crop's always interesting as well. I think I can definitely take out a Karakas. I think that's okay. Crop's a little bit of a feel bad if I get 2-for-1'd. This isn't a list where I am, you know, on something like Flagstones of Trocare. I might even just go down on 1 Crop. Scrying seems okay. Sylvan Library is really interesting as well. I mean, this is 60 here, so we're just bringing in the 2 Sylvan Safekeepers to Abrupt Decays, which isn't too bad. I'm kind of thinking about Sylvan Library. This could be a matchup where it goes quite long and it grinds out a bit, so Library could definitely be better than something like the 4th Sylvan Scrying, but yeah, I do agree that it is a lot better on the play than on the draw. Especially if my opponent starts off with like a turn 1 Delver, it's going to be quite an aggressive start. I think I'm just going to try this. I'm not too adept with sideboarding for Rug, but I think this should be okay. You had me at Legacy, you super had me at Depths. I get that a lot now. I think the Depths is a very cool deck, and it's cool to see the following as well. Even just for like, you have your Turbo Depths players, you have your Lands players, you have your 4-color Loam players that like to play the Dark Depths package, you have your Maverick players that like to play the Dark Depths package. Even the Slow Depths deck is pretty cool. I was a big fan of it, and then sadly I sold my Mox Diamonds, but I obviously probably should have kept them. I'm okay with this hand. It's very slow against a turn 1 threat, but I think I'm okay with that. It has 1 piece of the combo, which is nice, and it also has a backup of it. The basic Swamp is also really nice to have against a deck with Wasteland. Ponder is probably the card that I want to see here. Ever tried Hogak Depths variant? I haven't. What colors is it usually in? Is it usually like a bug or a Jund build? Does sound pretty cool though. Especially with Loam, you have some nice ways to fill the graveyard. Just straight green black? Okay. That's interesting. Thoughtseize, okay. I'm going to play out the Lotus Petal so I can play something like Inquisition around Daze. And then if I really want to, I can double go off with another piece of hand disruption here. They're going to Daze it. That's really interesting because the one card that I'm thinking of to slow them down with is Dreadhorde Iconist. And if they're dazing here, then I'm probably not that unhappy just to let this resolve. I'm definitely happy not paying for it, because now Dreadhorde is kind of off the table for next turn. But I think I'm pretty happy just to pass. I don't really want to use this Lotus Petal just yet. Especially because right now it's my only green source. Wow, just a pass. Needle. Okay. I'm going to Thoughtseize first. Thoughtseize allow me to get Dreadhorde or Delver. Obviously if they had Delver, they'd probably played it, but this is a pretty interesting hand. Return to Nature is interesting because it does deal with the Pithing Needle. And Force, I'm probably not too afraid of. So I'm just going to go for the return here. Thraben, you made a video with Status and Stitches. Okay, cool. I'll have to watch it for sure. Now the question is, what do I want to do here? I could play out a Dark Depths to actually just get a Wasteland, but I don't think that's where I want to be. I want to, of course, use this Pithing Needle here. So I think I would rather use the needle here, just to play around my opponent drawing into a blue card. Sadly, they don't have 2 fetches, but I think that Wasteland is more than fine here. Play Depths and pass. Ponder's pretty good off the top. We'll see if they shuffle or not. Chose not to shuffle, okay. So they probably drew a bit of gas. Stage, okay. That's pretty interesting. The question is, do I want to Thoughtseize here or Duress? I probably want to Thoughtseize in case my opponent... Maybe they're playing around it with a Ponder. I think just in case it is something that I can't take, I want to go for the Thoughtseize. Another Return to Nature. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Play Stage and pass. I think Oko would be pretty good here. They could make a food and then crack it. But it's just going to be Dreadhorde. Look at that. That's pretty perfect. The question here is, I do have a lot of time, so I can speak about it here. If I make it now, I don't play around Oko. I don't play around something like... I can't really play around Submerge. I don't think Stifle's in the list. We have Wasteland covered. And I think with Return to Nature's in the bin, 2 of them, Pithing Needle's probably sticking outside of Oko. So I think, yeah, the best play is just making an end of turn. There are things I could play around, but I don't think it's needed to play around them. They chose to shuffle, which is a great sign. There might be a play where I just think that they're slow enough that I can actually take the turn to duress them if they kept something like a Submerge in their hand. But I think here I'm pretty happy just to go for it. The shuffle being the main reason. Hey, Cardtricks. I don't know. There's a few contenders. I would not put myself as one of them. So I'm more than happy to be a adjudicator. And yeah, like again, just natural depth stage is pretty tough to beat for some decks, and Rug Delver does have some pretty good answers. They have Wasteland, but we have Needle. They have Submerge, but we can kind of play around it. It does seem a little bit rough for them, unless they have a really solid start of like Delver into Arcanist with some free counter magic behind it. So it's pretty tough. So always nice to start the league with a win. Nice. Is lands just better than depths? I think lands definitely has a better plan B and can grind really well. Lands can have pretty fast turns where they can just get an early Dark Depths, but they do have some other ways to win. Punishing Fire, not the greatest online, but Punishing Fire is technically a way to win. Cards like Tireless Tracker or Elvish Reclaimer are also kind of plan Bs, which are pretty good. And also Field of the Dead is really good. Field of the Dead is pretty hard to beat for some fair decks, and even some control decks like Snow just can't keep up with it, which is really cool. So I think that I think the depths is really cool because it really makes you think in your first few turns how you're gonna play out the game and what you're gonna play around, when you're gonna make your 2020. But lands, yeah, a little bit different, a little bit more grindier, usually setting in for the long game, allowing yourself and your opponent to get to the mid to late game to hopefully crush your opponent instead of trying to win within the first 3 turns, because You know, if our opponent brought in Surgical, had an answer for the Merit Lage, and then Surgical Dark Depths, it would be very hard to win. You know, Hex Mage beats only get so far, especially against the deck with 1/3s. Run Afoul. Yeah, Run Afoul is the new 1 green instant. Is it each opponent sacrifices a creature? It doesn't target, I believe. I don't think it's like target player sacks. Let's have a look here. Card Run Afoul. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. Okay, so it does target the opponent, but it doesn't target a creature with flying. What is I know Clip Wings is another card, but I think that's 2 mana and a little bit different. Clip Wings is each opponent sacrifices a creature flying. Target opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. Okay, so Clip Wings is a little bit better in EDH. Actually, Clip Wings also doesn't target your opponent, which might come up. A lot of people say that this deck is brainless. I don't think so, to be honest. Yeah, it's definitely got some play to it. There was actually a really good example of this where when I was playing with Where's Wolf, we used a Elvish Spirit Guide instead of a Lotus Petal to cast a Sylvan Scrying, leaving the Lotus Petal in play to hopefully in my opponent's end step make a Merit Lage. And my opponent Green Sun for 3 on their turn. And because we thought they might be trying to get Collector Oof here and kind of cloak it, we had to crack the Lotus Petal in response to the Green Suns in their main phase, which didn't allow us to play around their Karakas, which we had Ghost Quarter for, but they also went and got Ramanap. So our plan was to end step Ghost Quarter your Karakas, and then make Merit Lage. But of course, because we had the mana floating for it, we kind of had to go off in their main phase, which just didn't work. So yeah, definitely little things. I think Depths is a really good deck to learn a bit of sequencing with, a little bit like Burn. Although they're probably seen as, I still think that there's a lot to them, but yeah, I think it's a really good deck to learn sequencing. And there's some what was the upside of using the Spirit Guide? There wasn't one. It was me just thinking that Spirit Guide and Lotus Petal were the same sort of resource, when in actual fact, the Spirit Guide is just so much better because it's unknown to the opponent, which should just make sense, but until you kind of say it and think about it, you don't realize it all the time. Huh. This is a halfway there. So we have Hex Mage, we have a green or black source, we have Stage. I'm going to keep this. We have a pretty high count of green sources in the deck that I can draw into. And it's just so close. I could even do something like Thespian Stage, Lotus Petal, Sylvan Scrying for Urborg? Chrome Mox. Okay. Oh, this is going to be Soldiers. Okay. Thalia is going to be a little bit rough, but I think this is going to be okay. This does mean the Lotus Petal costs a little bit more. Swamp. Okay. Cool. I think you were just going Swamp and then paying for Lotus Petal to put it into play. And then we can untap, play Hex Mage, and play Dark Depths. That seems pretty good. I'm just going to 6 here because there's nothing I can really do. Oh, Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb, but nothing for my opponent. Enlistment Officer, that's going to be fine. Thalia's Lieutenant. Tithe Taker. Ancient Tomb and Karakas. Okay, so Karakas has gone to the bottom, which is nice. Soldiers is an interesting one, because I'm not sure against Soldiers if you should play at sorcery speed or just go for it at instant speed. I probably am considering Wasteland to be a card. There's some merit to not just going for it here. They don't play Wasteland? Or Plow, yeah. I know they don't play Plow because they usually play Chalice. We're definitely playing Dark Depths, and we're definitely playing Hex Mage. And I'm probably okay with just untapping here. Yeah, Palace Jailer is probably the most likely card that's going to be relevant here, so I'm pretty happy just to take this. I think worst case is we can just untap, play Stage, play Needle, name Karakas if they have it. Hey, Joe the Redcoat, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? What do we got? Ooh, if they went Palace Jailer, target Hexmage, and then they played Karakas after we made the 2020, that would be pretty bad. During your turn, your opponent casts one abilities your opponents activate. Interesting. I think here I just want to make the 2020. Hey, Forza Williams, welcome. You're from England at the moment playing Jund Phoenix. Very cool. I saw that Phil Blackman was playing Phoenix on 90s MTG today. Abilities your opponents activate cost 1 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. So I think in response to this, I'm just going to make it because, of course, the Dark Depths is going to... The Hexmage ability is going to cost more here. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Do not play Karakas, please. Okay. Ooh. Palace Jailer is 2 white, though, so... I don't think they have anything. Yeah, nice. Okay. We get there. And so far, some pretty early combos, which is always nice. I think that Depths is a great tournament deck because you do have some pretty quick wins. And you can take some pretty nice breaks. This is going to be an interesting one. I definitely like the Force of Vigor. I do like the Collector Oof. I'm probably pretty happy going down on Inquisitions and Duresses, to be honest, on the draw. I think that Thoughtseize is still fine, just to see if the coast is clear. I do want the Forces. Decay probably not so much, but I'm not too sure. Maybe just 1 Decay as just a way to get rid of an early threat that's cheap, but... Soldiers is the deck that gets pretty big pretty quickly, and a few of their main threats are 4-drops. Maybe for Chalice? Yeah, that's interesting. We do also have Hexmage, which does interact with Chalice, but I don't think I'm in the position where I want to be using Hexmage on my opponent's Chalices. I think that Bojuka Bog is actually a fine card to sideboard out here, and that kind of gives us the 60 that I'm probably looking for. Collector Oof turns off Chrome Mox, which might not be worth it. It does turn off our own Lotus Petals if we play the Oof and then draw into the Lotus Petal, but it's definitely an interesting one. Is Collector Oof better than anything else here? Safekeeper for Karakas? That's very true. We do already have the 4 Needles, but maybe Safekeeper is worth it because Safekeeper also has some play against Palace Jailer, which is pretty nice. I also have Not of This World, which is pretty good. The only thing is that Not of This World does not play around Thalia too well because I don't typically have the mana open to play through Thalia to cast a Not of This World. So maybe there's an area where I just want to get some extra Sylvan Safekeepers in and make that the 60. Safe for Sword. Yeah, this could be a matchup where they actually take out take out the Chalices and bring in Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to see how this goes. I really like this list because it still looks just so consistent, which is really nice. And I think this is okay. If there is a game 3, we can come back and look at the sideboard and maybe make some different changes, seeing what we see in game 2. But for now, I do like this. Okay. It's a no-lander. It doesn't have either part of the combo, and it's kind of just fluff, so this is going to be a mulligan. Like, I think best case is that we draw into like a fetch land or a bayou, and even then it's not that great. Okay. This isn't great either. It does have a Thoughtseize, and it has some fast mana. I could drop the Urborg and just go Swamp into Thoughtseize. But again, it doesn't have either part of the combo. I think with Depth, there is a pretty good chance you're going to mulligan pretty well to 5. And, sorry, by what I'm saying there is that mulling to 5 with Turbo Depths isn't that bad. If you have Urborg, Depths, and Hexmage, 3 cards that you need. They're the big 3. The fourth one that's awesome is Hand Disruption on turn 1, and then the fifth is something like Not of This World. But because this hand doesn't really do anything, I think my opponent's going to set up a pretty good lock, or at least aggressive strategy, before I can find both pieces of the combo and get them down. So I'm going to mulligan this. Okay. I'm going to keep this. I'm not going down to 4. I think what I'm happy to do here is drop a Thespian Stage. And probably the Elvish Spirit Guide, but I do want to think about this. I don't mind Karakas because they probably kept in Thalia on the play. So Karakas is a nice little answer to that. I do like Verdant Catacombs because it is our green or black source. I think it's the Urborg. I don't really want to turn my opponent's Ancient Tombs into Swamps because Ancient Tomb is a pretty good way to make sure that I can win this just by hitting them for 21. So I think it might be the Urborg that I drop here. I do like the Spirit Guide, especially because it also pairs with the Force of Vigor really nicely. So I'm gonna mull like this. Basic Plains Pass is pretty nice for us. Thoughtseize. Okay, that's pretty nice as well. The question here is, do I want to go for a Bayou? And I think I do, just because my only green source right now is the Elvish Spirit Guide, and I'm probably going to pitch that to the Force of Vigor. So now we get... Ah, Rick. Coral. Okay. So Rick is interesting, but also a legendary creature with which Karakas hits. Enlistment Officer, I think, is just the card here because it is card advantage, and both of these are answered by Karakas, so I'm going to take the Enlistment Officer. I do want to take Rick just because I hate this card, but it's okay. Hey, Joanne, welcome. It's going to be Enlistment Officer. All right. I hope you guys liked my my Rick impression. Ancient Tomb. Okay, what's this? Okay, Thalia, that's fine. Scrying. Scrying's pretty interesting. So much tilt value for playing Rick. I think it's just Karakas. The question is, do I want to go for Dark Depths here off the Sylvan Scrying using the Elvish Spirit Guide, or just wait it? And I think I'm just going to wait it. I'd rather just play Thespian Stage next turn. There's an interesting question here as well that do I actually want to use Karakas here? Because if I Karakas the Thalia, they might just replay it, which taxes me in my turn. So I might just take this damage here and then actually use the Karakas in end step to see what they do. They drew another Plains, okay. So here's Rick. Okay. Nice, okay. Now I'm pretty happy to return Thalia. Verdant. Okay. Now there's a question. Because we have 4 Dark Depths in the deck, but only 1 Ghost Quarter, I guess we also have 4 Pithing Needle. But maybe there's a world where we're actually supposed to get Ghost Quarter off the Sylvan Scrying. But I don't think so. I think I'd rather just go for the combo here. Get Dark Depths. And just pass. Poor Rick. It is pretty funny because I believe the artwork is kind of representing that he's giving out knives or guns to help those other humans, which is why they're getting pumped. Which is pretty funny. Here, I'm probably okay just returning. Just to save my life total a little bit. And if they want to cast Thalia, it's not too bad now. Thorn is going to be fine. This is more than fine. Maybe we can just draw into Pithing Needle. Crop rotation. That's pretty good as well. Crop costs 3, but that's going to be okay. Actually, crop costs less. Yeah, let's just keep playing this out. Let's go Dark Depths. And then we have Karakas up and also Force of Vigor. "2020 has been a wild ride. I will be with you there. I'm in the car, riding with you through the ashes of 2020. Alright, we're going for Rick. That's okay. I am going to return to hand because if they recast it off the Karakas, I don't think they can here. Surely they can't play the City of Traders and then play Thalia or Ancient Tomb. Yeah, this is actually pretty nice. I think I want to crop rotate here. I can crop rotate for 2, get Ghost Quarter, untap, and just have the mana up for it. Crop the Bayou. Go and get Ghost Quarter. Untap. Play a land. Pass back. Nice. It's looking pretty good. Opponent has 4 cards. We know one is Thalia, one is City of Traders. Okay. I don't want to return here. I'm happy for them to gain the life because I do want to use Karakas as a way to activate the Thespian stage. And here we are facing against Rick handing out guns in Magic. Yeah, did not see this coming. I'll say that. I don't think they play a flyer. They have 2 unknown cards. The 3rd card is Thalia. Interesting. Are they just going to try to give me the 2020 here? I probably don't mind just gaining the life. Hit Karakas. I'm going to float white. That's fine. I think I'm okay not playing around... Sorry, I didn't know this was still in the stack. Playing around Swords to Plowshares here, I'm probably happy just going for it. Oh, they have nothing. Okay. What does Rick do? Rick hands out guns. Yeah, that's right. Rick says, as Rick enters the battlefield, choose 2 abilities. I can't see right now. I believe it's like they can either get Vigilance or Lifelink. Maybe Vigilance and Lifelink. Humans you control have each of the chosen abilities. As long as you control 4 or more humans, humans you control get +2/+2. So it's pretty much a lord. But really nice. For anyone in chat that doesn't actually know how the Thespian Stage combo works, what you have is a card Dark Depths, which comes in with 10 counters on it. And when you copy it with Thespian Stage is already in play, doesn't come into play, so it doesn't have the counters on it. So then Thespian Stage as a Dark Depths triggers, has no counters on it. You then choose which one to keep, because they're both legendary. You choose Thespian Stage. Dark Depths goes to the bin, Thespian Stage goes to the bin, you get your 20/20. There we go. Nice. Rug and... Hey Nuka, welcome. Hope you're having a good lunch break. Always nice to start fresh. The 2 wins are always nice. I think the best feeling is 3-0ing, because then you just know it's gonna be good. There's no pressure. You're gonna come out of it with something. Obviously, it's always nice to 4-1 or maybe 5-0, but you know. Have you gotten to instant depths after decaying a Blood Moon yet? I haven't. I have seen turn 1 Blood Moon pass. Dark Depths opponent goes Dark Depths and then passes and then Force of Vigors in their turn, which is pretty cool because then you get the turn 2 win. It is something that is worth being aware of, but okay. No green mana, which is pretty rough. I don't like the plan of this hand just being play out Thespian Stage and hopefully draw into green source or Dark Depths. But there's a world. I mean, if I get really desperate, I can Ghost Quarter myself for my forest, but I don't think that's where I want to be. I think there is a better 6, especially with hand disruption in the deck. You know, I want to make sure my mana's on all good, so... Yeah, Marin, there's actually a really good budget version for Green-Black Depths that plays Blooming Marsh. And the best thing about Blooming Marsh is that it's not a forest. So if your opponent tries to play Submerge against you, they're going to have a pretty bad time. And there have been lists that are 5-0'd on MTGO with the non-Bayou but Blooming Marsh build, which is pretty sweet. It happened. I never thought I'd get the full Dark Depths hand. That's pretty funny. We're going to 5. Okay. This is actually a... Okay, so we go turn 1 Inquisition off Urborg, turn 2 Dark Depths off Hexmage with Not of This World. That is pretty good. Drop. Done. Yeah, you do lose percentage points, but I think that if you're going to enter the format, then Shocklands or Blooming Marshes or something is more than fine. Thoughtseize is what I'm going to take. I don't really want the... Oh, and they don't have a blue card for the Force yet. Interesting. Can they draw blue card for Force? I kind of hope they play something turn 1. Watery Grave. Okay. Oh, that's it? Okay. This is going to be interesting. Another Hexmage. Wow. Hiya. Force. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, Japes. Very cool to see. It's always nice to see people who have played the deck with the quote-unquote, like, not best version and obviously do fine. I think in this list as well, like, if you're going to be playing Shocklands, it probably doesn't matter if you're going to be, you know, comboing out before your opponent can kill you anyway. I think here the play is just to make the 20/20 and then... Yeah. So we can play around Wasteland. And now we have Not This World to actually keep it alive as well, which is really nice. Yeah, I think the Depths is one of the decks where you're fast enough that having shocks isn't too bad. Especially because you're not a Delver deck where you're having to like daze your Steam Vents or something. That's pretty rough. I guess they can Thoughtseize us. Hopefully it isn't an issue. Nice. Okay. So we're playing against like what looks to be Grixis Shadow, which is pretty interesting. Grixis Shadow. I do like the Decays. I probably don't need the Karakas in this matchup. I do like Needles for Wasteland. I'm assuming Grixis Death Shadow would still be on Wasteland. Sylvan Scrying might just be a little bit too slow, but I'm probably more likely to bring out a Crop Rotation just because of how bad it is against counter magic. It might just be these changes. I could probably cut down on hand disruption, but I'm gonna keep it all in just to hopefully at least have more turn 1 plays. Tom keeps all of his scryings in versus me. Okay. Yeah, Kai, pretty perfect 5 cards there. This is an interesting hand. We have one piece of the combo. We have turn 1 interaction. We have protection in both Pithing Needle and Not of This World, and we have mana. But we don't have anything proactive. But I think this is okay, especially on the draw. A little bit slow, but we'll see how it goes. I personally like Library because of the powerful ability of Dreadhorde to decimate your hand and grind. Yeah, that's fair enough. I was going to think about Library on the play, but maybe I should have thought about it on the draw as well. Just because against Grixis, it would be pretty hard to get it off the table as well. I'm going to assume they take the Thoughtseize here. Needle, okay. That makes me think they are on a Wasteland build. Spirit Guide. Then I probably want to lead with the Urborg because it's probably the card that I least worry about getting Wastelanded. And at least it means if I draw another Urborg, it's kind of online. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Ah, interesting. Submerge, Preordain, Death Shadow. So because we have the Not of This World, I'm not worried about the Submerge. They currently don't have a great way to get this Death Shadow out, so I could take the Preordain and just leave them with the Death Shadow, which currently is -2, -2. But maybe that's a little bit risky. I think it's okay. We do have Abrupt Decay as well, which we could draw into to get rid of Death Shadow. I'm also not going to 6 here because they might think that we have Crop Rotation off Elvish Spirit Guide. But it looks like they don't worry about it. Sylvan Scrying. Oh, okay. Well then. I'm going to go for Depths here because that might keep them off Wastelanding this Bayou. They play the Wasteland. They wasteland us. Interesting. Oh, okay. I'm gonna play the stage and then pass. And if we get a turn, Brainstorm's okay. Yeah, I thought that that wasteland for my opponent was pretty aggressive, knowing that we have the Not of This World and knowing that we have the combo. They also turned off the Submerge. That's actually really relevant. I didn't think of that. That's a great point, Jack. I think here we just go for the combo now. Seeing that we drew the second Not of This World. All right. That's a pretty great feeling. Nice. The combo is working for us tonight. Just really nice. Hey, Double, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Won't be a second, guys. Apologies. Alright, let's bump that score up. There is nothing more unfair in Magic than attacking with another Reliquary after activating Rogue's passage targeting it. Yeah, that's fair enough. I haven't had an unblockable Knight before. I guess Step is kind of a similar thing. But I've never used Rogue Passage. That is very correct. This is yeah, this is a really nice showing of the deck. Obviously, Not of This World has been really nice. I have a pen somewhere. Don't you hate it when you have a million pens and then you just whiff? One of us. Never. You played Mav back in 2013. Rogue's Passage was key to showing True Name Nemesis who was boss. That is very cool tech. I applaud that. But yeah, deck's been sweet. I really like this build. Sylvan Library's interesting. There have been a few times where I've wanted to bring it in, but I just haven't had the chance. TNN in 29 is such 2019 design. Yeah, TNN is a interesting one for sure. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that True Name is gone so far. The one point where Legacy changed for me was when everyone was talking about Narset and Khan, and then it switched over to Teferi and Oko so quickly. This is interesting. This is a hand where it's very all in, and I don't mind it. It's got a turn 3. Stage, Lotus, Urborg. Okay, turn 4 win. You'd keep? Yeah, it definitely is interesting. I got killed by a true name nemesis that was neoformed into play against my Plague Engineer set on Rogue. Haha. The question is, do I want to play around any sort of hand disruption? Do I want to go like Verdant Catacombs into Lotus Petal and then pass? And then if they like Thoughtseize or Duress us, we can just Verdant Catacombs, Crop Rotation, get Dark Depths. It does give away what we're on, but I think I'm okay with that. I think our opponent has played like a Grixis deck before, so Inquisition and Thoughtseize are probably in the deck. Probably not correct, especially in the blind, to show off that you're on a Lotus Petal deck, but I don't mind it here. Opponent went down to 4 cards. Okay, we're going for the turbo win here. Delta. Underground Sea. Cabal Therapy. I am going to crop just in case they do put us on. So I'm going to get Bayou and then just crop. This might... Yeah, this is fine. This might put them on Vampire Hexmage as the name, which I'm probably more than fine with. How many wins do you get with this deck? Because opponents are assuming they have time against the God of FedEx. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how many people actually use things like MTG Goldfish, which sometimes I definitely do, to check what people are on. Which is why it's nice to jump around decks, because it just is sometimes. But yeah, there's the Hexmage call, which is more than fair. And what we have here is a really nice draw, because if we draw into another piece of free mana like Lotus Petal or Elvish Spirit Guide, we have a turn two guy. Duress. That's interesting. Let's go for Urborg into Duress here. Oh, okay, this is going to be Hogak. Interesting. Okay. This is going to be a massive turn for my opponent. Yeah, because they could combo out. They can play Stitcher Supplier and then Cabal Therapy it, so get 6 cards in the library. Sorry, in the graveyard. If they draw a land here as well... If they draw a fetch land, that would be huge, because they could play Heatran Crab and then play the fetch. And just go... Pretty much start going turbo. Luckily for this matchup, we do have the ley lines and the surgicals. There's the Hedron, and it looks like then... Wow, okay. Alright. Well, lucky for us. Needle. Oh, okay. Interesting. What's it worth needling, if anything? Like, Altar? But do we really care about Altar? Even if they draw Altar, they can't do anything. Okay, they could draw... If they have Altar in hand, they could draw a land, play the land, flip the crabs. If they play a fetch land, they could also get Bloodghast back from the graveyard to then sack to the Altar. They also have Cabal Therapy to get zombies in from Bridge from Below that go to the graveyard. So there is a world where they actually win with Altar. Very small, but it's probably worth just naming here. What's it called? Is it, what is it? Is it Altar Dement? Yeah, I think it is. Altar of Dementia. There we go. Okay. I think that's probably their only out and their only way to win. I think it's okay here just to untap. They don't play Wasteland, which is nice. Or I haven't seen them play Wasteland before. Yeah, nice. Okay. There we go. We're going for that dream. What do I want here? I'm going to assume Assassin's Trophy comes in. They could still mill 7,000 and start smashing teeth in with Veg Vines. Yeah, I was trying to think how much they could mill. Because they could get at least 2, 4, 10 cards in the bin if they have a fetch land and then also sack the Stitches Supplier. Because they could get 6. Is Crab 3? Crab is 3, isn't it? Yes, that's 12. I'm just gonna call it Crab. That doesn't work. Is it Hedron Crab? There we go. It is 3. Okay, so that's 6 of a fetch land, and then it's 6 off the Stitches Supplier with the Cabal Therapy. What do I not want? I probably don't want the Duresses. I do like the Inquisitions and Thought Seizers, or do I? This is an interesting one. Maybe I don't want these. A lot of the time, putting something in their graveyard's probably pretty bad for me. I'm not too sure how good the None of This Worlds are. I'm going to assume they're going to be relying on something like Assassin's Trophy to stop the combo. Oof does stop Altar, but it's only one card. The ley lines and the surgicals kind of stop Altar to an extent as well. But maybe there's a world where I don't need the None of This Worlds. I don't think they play Karakas. Force is also interesting, but it only stops the... I'm going to bring in the Decays. And it's going to be the Knots that come out. Yeah. I think Oof hitting our own Lotus Petals is more than hitting their... I'm going to bring in the Sylvan Library. No, I'm not. They can be really aggressive. We have 30 seconds. Maybe just like an Inquisition, because they're probably bringing in Assassin's Trophy, and I do want to catch it first. And if Inquisition could hit something like a Hedron Crab or a Stitches Supplier, I'd be very happy. Because I'd rather them not get to the graveyard so early. This is a turn 2 with Leyline. This is a pretty perfect hand. The crop doesn't matter. So it's Leyline, turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Dark Depths Hexmage. Incredible. They're gonna Thoughtseize us, so they can take the Hexmage here. But the Thespian Stage can copy the Bayou. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is going to be really tough for my opponent. Still going to go with Urborg. I guess I could go with Bayou and hold up Crop the following turn. But I think it's better just go for Urborg this turn. Because then it turns on Hexmage as well, as being just a turn 2 off Dark Depth. So I think Urborg is best here. Yeah. Okay. It's probably just Careful Study here that I care about. With Leyline out, I don't care about Stitches Supplier. They don't have blue, so I think it is just a study because it means they could draw into um, Assassin's Trophy. It just allows them to dig. Gravecrawler, okay. Pedal. Oh, that's a win early as well. Because we can float 2 mana here, and we can also pedal for Thespian Stage in the deck. So we're good to go. They know about crop rotation as well, so... Ooh. This deck is nice. This deck is nice. Very cool. Okay. Damn. Sometimes hands just run hot, and it feels pretty good. Man. I am not even close to Tom. I am in the minor leagues. Yeah, getting the 10-0 would be very cool. If I get 10-0, I'm getting myself a beer after this game. Some solid decks as well. Rugdelva, Bog Hogak. Yeah, I think I deserve a beer either way. You know what? No, I'm gonna get the beer now. I'm gonna get the beer now. I'll be back in a second. Nice. Yeah, I hope not. Where are we? There we are. Cool. Hey guys. Colonial Pale Ale. It's a nice one. I believe they're actually changing their name, which is kind of cool. Europe, get your beers. Yeah, Pale Ale is pretty cool. I also had a mango sour in the fridge, but I think I'm gonna keep that. Cloudwater IPA here, very cool. Cloudwater. I don't think I've heard of that. Oh, that's got a cool can. Oh, that's a sick can. Yes. Nice. I like this a lot. Only regulars in the fringe here. There's a really good place in Brisbane called let me quickly find it. Oh, what's it called? Brewski. It's called Brewski. this is it. I want to get a photo of the fridges if possible. Nope. No, it's not there. I thought it was. But yeah, we got some pretty good breweries here in Brisbane, which is nice. All right. Untapped game. Untapped. Interesting. Oh, on the play against VCF. Interesting. Interesting hand. Oh, it's a beer app? Okay. I think I am going to keep this because we get to go turn 1 Thoughtseize or Needle. I don't mind this. I'm going to keep. I'm just going to get a Bayou into Thoughtseize. All right. Cheers, everyone. Opponent kept 7. Ooh, okay. This is interesting. I think because we have the Needle, I'm just taking Hedron Crab here. Because Crab gets out of hand really fast. I'm definitely not taking the Vengevine. I don't believe I'm taking the Once, but the Once can find another Hedron Crab, but I'd rather deal with what's in front of me than take what could be in front of me. So I believe it's just Hedron Crab here, then hold up Hexmage. I think this is pretty good. A subtle thing as well is that next turn is we can untap, play Needle, and then hold up Crop Rotation just in case we need to get Bojuka Bog. So it is going to be Crab. Crab's just such a good enabler. I'm going to assume they once after they draw, so they get to look at an extra card. What does the beer taste like? It tastes like success. They're going to once now. That's interesting. I'm not too sure if there is a reason to once now, or if it's just always better to take a draw step and then once because you get to see an extra card. All right. So once is gone, Underground Sea, Gravecrawler. That's fine. Oh, Petal. Huh. Petal gets us so close. We can't crop and Hexmage this turn because we need all 3 colors. I think it's just Stage, Needle, play Petal, play Hexmage. I don't mind that. And then this Bayou is just the crop rotation. So let's name Altar of Dementia. I think I'm okay to use the Lotus Petal for the Hexmage here. Altar of Dementia. Petal. Cast. It does seem like we're a lot quicker here, which is nice. black Hex Mage. And then we're just passing. I don't want to misclick. I don't want to do anything like that. But it is looking good for us, which is nice. I think being on the play as well was a huge advantage as well. Because being on the draw there, we might have been in a position where we had to take the altar because we couldn't cast what's it called? The Pithing Needle fast enough. Oh, Scrying's interesting. I can just Scrying for Dark Depths here, which is probably better. Breathe sun. Yeah, I think he would just pass and see what they have. Any reason not to make it now? No. Maybe there's some sort of turn where when they can just like haste a bunch of creatures into play, but should have attacked. Yeah, I could definitely have attacked as well. Yeah, nice. Because I don't believe that Hogak plays main deck interaction, pretty much. They can't block, so yeah, I would say it's correct to attack there. Because there's probably not a likelihood of them being able to get like triple Vengevine in the bin and cast 2 creatures. Like, there's a world where they can cast Careful Study, get 2 Vengevines in the bin, and then maybe play 2 creatures. But yeah, it's tough because we know 3 of their cards, so that's a pretty nice feeling. Let's just board how we boarded last time, which I believe was double Decay, double Leyline, and double Surgical. And then we took out the Not of This Worlds, the Duresses I wasn't a big fan of, and 1 Sylvan Scrying. I think that was it. Actually, I think it was an extra Inquisition, because Sylvan Scrying getting Bojuka Bog can be pretty relevant. But I like taking out Duresses and Inquisitions because Duresses can miss, a lot of the time. And Inquisition is just, there's a lot of cards that I don't want to put in their bin. So I think this is fine. Nothing else. I don't think I need like Force of Vigor because we have Abrupt Decay. I don't believe I want Sylvan Library. I'm going to assume the majority of their interaction is Assassin's Trophy on Thespian stage being Dark Depths, so see how this goes. Do you have Tom Hep's sideboard sheet? I do, thank you, Matsol. I have it somewhere. I do have it somewhere, and I should definitely look at it because it is obviously a great resource to look at. And obviously he and Jono went over it pretty well on this week as well. Hey, Card Tricks Money, thanks for the follow. This is an interesting one. It is a turn 3 combo with turn 2 Abrupt Decay if we need it. But the question is that good enough? This hand doesn't have Leyline either, or Surgical, so we don't have too much interaction. Opponent looks like they're keeping 7. Okay, opponent mulled to 6. Which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm in the camp of I have to convince myself this hand is good enough. Not so much I have to convince my hand this hand isn't good enough, so on the play I think you could keep, yeah. On the draw, I think just a little bit too slow. It is pretty nice, but it's pretty dead to Assassin's Trophy, which is the one card that I have to think about. It doesn't really have a plan B, and I think there are hands that have a plan B. This is okay. It has the crop, but it only has the 1 land. I guess we can scrying into Thespian Stage on turn 1 if we really wanted to, but I kind of want to get mana for the Abrupt Decay. So it might even be Sylvan Scrying for Urborg, and then use the crop rotation to find to find Thespian Stage on the line. I think it's Decay here that I drop. Decay just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. We do have Pithing Needles to draw into for Altar, and we also have Surgical to interact with the graveyard, so I think I'm just going to go for Abrupt Decay here and hope that it's enough. Thoughtseize. Alright. This will be interesting. It's probably the Surgical, but I could see a world where you take the crop, because I kind of have to invest the Lotus Petal into the Sylvan Scrying here. That's interesting. I think I'm just wanting to go turn 1 Sylvan Scrying into Thespian Stage. I don't think it's worth waiting. Was Hogak always this popular? I think it came out when Blue Decks did. I know that probably Matt Soul has a pretty good opinion on that and when it actually came out. You just play it slow? Yeah, that's interesting as well. This is, yeah, really interesting. I think I'm definitely playing the Bayou, let's be honest. And then it's a case of, do I want a Sylvan Scrying here? The good thing about Sylvan Scrying here is that I get the piece into my hand. It can't be interacted with something like Cabal Therapy or other hand disruption. And it allows me to play another turn 2 drop if I draw like Hex Mage or something. There's also a world where just Hex Mage is better. I could draw into Hex Mage, but I think here I'm happy just to play with what I have, use the Scrying, go and get the other half being Thespian Stage, and pretty much give my opponent a clock. Because now they know that I have the combo. They Thoughtseize me on turn 1, so they have full information. Delta. Gravecrawler is fine. Alright. Thoughtseize. That's pretty huge. I'm going to use this first. There's a world where I don't want to Thoughtseize my opponent, but I think I do here. I could have even waited on the Thoughtseize for a bit. There's the trophy. Nice. I'm going to play the stage. No, I'm going to play the Dark Depths because if I draw into Hex Mage, it means I can combo off a turn earlier. There's even a world where I want to Surgical the Assassin's Trophy. Is that too aggressive? I guess we can wait for them to draw. And then we know they don't have a green source in hand, so we can even wait for the fetch. Just a land and a Bloodghast. Okay, and now they just have Vengevine in hand? Alright. Urborg. Oh, that's the reason why we should have played the stage last turn. All right. Yeah. I guess my consideration was if we had this. Oh no, because we had to play the yeah, we played the depth. Sorry, of course. So we're taking 4. If they draw a land, they attack for 8. They have a 2-turn clock, but we can have the Dark Depths open. So I think it's worth surgicaling here. Because worst case is, I guess we lose if they have land into Vengevine, swing for 8, we go to 8. And then if they top deck another Vengevine, yeah, I think surgical by paying mana is correct. And I kind of want to do it just in upkeep so they can't draw a trophy in response. Okay, they only have one more. How else do they board? Okay. Do you draw land? I think if they did, they would have cast it by now. Okay. Okay. Getting a little bit shaky here. Altar. That's pretty good. Another Vengevine. Maybe the surgical was a little bit loose. They don't have a bridge yet, though. Hey, Dark Cloud, a huge thank you for the sub. 6 months is really cool. Hey, thanks, Matzol. That means a lot. Oh, no bridge yet, which is really good for us. Dark Cloud, hopefully see you at Legacy soon. Be really cool to hang out again. Hey, Kimmy MTG, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Can we draw Bog? Oh, Verdant. Okay. I think we just go for Snow-Covered Swamp Pass. There's no reason to play the Urborg. Just in case for some reason they don't want to fetch and use it for mana. Hoping to come next week. Very cool. Okay. Oh, Stitches is pretty good. What do you hit? Oh, there's one bridge. And they have a... They can cast Gravecrawler, which gets the Vengevine into play. Or double Vengevine into play. Whew. Oh, they hit another bridge. Wow. Yeah, no Gak, but scary stuff. No Gak yet. No Gak yet. Is there any reason to not block here? I just take it, right? No Gak. No Gak. I don't know if we did, because can't they just use the zombies for Gak as well? Am I missing something here? They don't get any more zombies though? Okay. There's Gak. I think I just make the 20/20 and then just 6. Maybe that's surgical. Yeah, there's 3 Hogaks. Yeah. Maybe the surgical on trophy was just too aggressive. And it's probably worth not showing them that I have yeah. It's not worth showing them that I have both surgical and leyline. I probably don't mind duress on the play. Yeah, I guess I was just in the mindset of playing to win instead of playing not to lose. But obviously that might not be that greatest. Might not be the greatest. I think Sajiri Step can come out. That doesn't do a whole lot here. I'm just going to bring in 1 duress. That's the change. Because if I can get Alter before it comes down, I think that's a little bit better than Oof. But Oof is interesting. Oof I can't find, which is tough. And Duress is obviously easy to cast. I can keep a hand with like the combo in Urborg with Duress, but I can't really know that I'm going to be able to cast to collect Oof at times. It's going to be Oof. I'm going to try out the Oof. Oof does have merit, even though it turns off our own Lotus Petals. I think it's... yeah. It's fine. Would love to play first. No Leyline, but a pretty interesting hand. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 Spirit Guide, and then we also have Bog Up if we need it. This is an okay hand. We have a second crop for a Bog. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Just Bayou Pass. Gravecrawl is okay. Oh, Inquisition. Interesting. I think we Inquisition our opponent play the Thespian stage of a turn, and then just hold up Elvish Spirit Guide, crop into Bog if we really need it. If I can hit Altar, that'd be great. We do have the Decay, but otherwise... Okay, Crab's definitely getting cut. And then let's just play Stage here. What did they play? The Gravecrawler? Yeah, that's a really interesting decision. I think that Hedron Crab's just so good as a turn 1. I'm not sure why they went with the Gravecrawler. The question here is, do I want to go for Verdant Catacombs or Thespian Stage? I think it's Stage just because it allows me to combo a little bit earlier. The only thought is if they like Thoughtseize us, take Spirit Guide, and then take a crop, and then we can't cast Crop Rotation at instant speed. But I think that's okay. You would play Verdant? Yeah. Yeah, in case they do that. Study, okay. Vengevine Bloodgust. Okay. This is pretty interesting. I guess they can fetch in response to save the Bloodgust if they really want to from a Crop Rotated Paducah Bog off the Elvish Spirit Guide. This can resolve. I might try to get the other Careful Study if I can. Interesting. Just Verdant pass with the combo up. It's Careful Study. Bayou Swamp. Okay. Fetch. Alright. Supply is okay. I think we got this one. Trophy Crawler Therapy. Interesting. The cast in the Gravecrawler. That's gonna be fine. Hey, the Herd. Welcome. Thanks, Matt Soul, but let's just wait for a second before before something happens here. They're gonna Cabal now, so now I am just gonna go for it. Float green. Crop away a Bayou. Get Dark Depths. Just gonna copy it. I guess I don't need to copy it right now. I can wait for the flashback. Yeah, Cabal Therapy still in the stack. Keep this. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. Nice. Nice. There we go. That's what it's about. Thank you. It's been a long time since a trophy, so that means a hell of a lot. Nice. So close. So close as well. The one game. That would have been nice, but that's cool. That's very cool. Nice. This list was really fun. I still like the Sylvan Library over the third Mindbreak Trap, but to anyone who plays the third Mindbreak Trap, I can definitely see why. Yeah, very nice. Very cool to play. That was awesome. I kind of want to run this back and not play Maverick. I just want to run this deck back again and see how it goes. That would be very cool. But yeah, so we had Rug Delver, Grixis Death Shadow, Rug Delver, Grixis Mono White Soldiers, Bug Hogak. Okay. Nice. I do quickly need to do some housekeeping. I'm just going to go to this, copy this. Custom wording. Well, look, if there's combo in green black, I'm all for it. All right. Is that cool if we run this back? I think I can do a poll somehow. This is a double up stream, but I kind of want to do another Green Black Depths League. That was really fun to just keep going out these little ones. Hey, thanks Nuka, all the best. So you're saying you'll play Spanish Inquisition? You know what? We're gonna go back with Turbo. I'm sorry for the Maverick fans, but this was really fun. Do what will make you happy. Thanks. Hey, thanks Mapson. Very cool to see you in chat. A huge thank you. Also very cool to see you on the 90s MTG playing some depths, I believe. It's a happy betrayal. This is an interesting hand. I don't mind it. It's a little bit slow, but turn 1 Thoughtseize or Inquisition is pretty nice. And it does have the Hex Mages. Interesting hand. I think if I played this at like a kind of semi-casual event, I'd probably keep it. Especially on the play, it feels quite nice. Oh, we're actually on the draw. Oh, okay. I know that feeling with paper cards. It feels really good. Okay, now it's pretty sweet. I think I'm happy to just go buy you into Inquisition. Thoughtseize I kind of want to keep in case. Ooh, okay. Huh. So currently their turn 2 play is Stoneforge, and they don't have a third land. I'm probably okay to go Stoneforge here. And then take Teferi. Maybe Teferi I don't care about because I have the second Hex Mage. I could just take the Council's Judgment. So I can't take the Jace. I'm not taking the Snapcaster Mage. I'm probably not taking the Teferi just yet. I guess Bojuka Bog kind of answers Snapcaster Mage into Council Judgment, so I'm going to take Stoneforge Mystic because it's a turn 2 play. Teferi. The nice thing is that we do have answers to Teferi in the second Hex Mage as well. I'm not going to play out the Petal. I'm going to hold the Petal. I don't think it's worth giving my opponent that information just yet. I can also get up what they have in hand. If they go Ponder here, I'm probably pretty happy just to Bojuka Bog them next turn so they can't snap Ponder on their turn, and then all those Thoughtseize away the Teferi. Let's see what they did here. Okay. Chose not to shuffle. Oh, another Inquisition. Okay. That might change things. Oh, Force Negation. Okay. I think it's just Teferi and Bog them. This is pretty interesting. They most likely have a land on top, but they kept the Force Negation, so they had a Force, but they didn't force the Inquisition. So there's also a thought process to take Force Negation. Oh, or take Snapcaster Mage and then Thoughtseize them and see if they use the Force or not. I think it's Teferi, and then Pedal. Take Council's Judgment, then Bog them. I don't care about the fast mana because we have the Hexmage line. So now I can Thoughtseize my opponent. Take the Judgment, and now Bog them, which kind of renders the Snapcaster Mage pretty useless. They are digging for lands, that's correct. So I believe there's a land on top, which is why I kind of like taking the Ponder out of the equation. I think running at a Hexmage here is fine. Force Negation can't do anything, Snapcaster Mage can't do anything. And it kind of means if they want to play Jace here, it's going to not end up too well. I guess they could Swords and then have up Snap Swords. But it looks like they're just going for it. Going up. Fate Sealing us. Interesting. Show game log. They put a card on the bottom. Okay. Ooh, okay. I think if we just cast the second Hexmage, attack them for 2. And then sack 1 to deal with the Jace. And then play stage. The nice thing about the early beats and the early fetches as well is that my opponent can't be in a position where they're at 20 life, they're taking a hit, and they just swords their own creature. Needle's interesting. I think Needle I'm going to hold for now, because I'm not sure if my opponent's going to play a Jace or Teferi next. Karakas is pretty good, but we do have the Needle and the Not of this World for it. I also don't think there's a reason to keep lands in hand. I think because I have the Not of this World, I'm not in a rush to name Karakas with the Needle, so I'm just going to pass again. Preordain's pretty good. Bottom would be nice to see. Maybe probably one bottom, one top. Two top would be, of course, pretty devastating. Two cards on top. Okay. Interesting. Petal. I'm going to attack first. And I probably... Do I rather just keep the petal in hand? I think I'd rather just have it as unknown information right now. Narset's going to be okay. Sort of Fire and Ice. Interesting. In case my opponent's playing something like Venser, I probably just want to have a copy of Karakas just in case. Spirit Guide. Alright, I'm going to attack the Narset so that it can't get another card. And probably just pass here. I believe if I cast Pithing Needle and name Karakas here, it also turns off my Thespian stage, which is Karakas. So maybe there was something I was supposed to do there that wasn't exactly that. Sort of Feast and Famine. That's pretty good. That's probably something that I have to name with this Pithing Needle, or else it's going to get out of hand. Oh. They do have Force Negation, though. Yeah. I think Hardcast Elvish is just the correct play. I'm going to attack first. Gives me the most information. I think what they're going to do is just flash in Snapcaster Mage, end step, and then attack with, or equip and attack with the Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, I think Spirit Guide here to speed up the clock is a great play, because it might get to the situation where my opponent has to hold back the Snapcaster, or play another creature and just equip the sword to it. But yeah, Sword of Feast and Famine is really nice. A Duress or a Thoughtseize would have been kind of nice, but you can't always have it. Ponder. Yeah, they're being defensive, which is really interesting. Urborg isn't great. I think I just hardcast the Spirit Guide and pass. Urborg's interesting because it means I can Thor earlier if I draw into Dark Depths, and I want to go that way. True Name's going to be pretty tough to beat. Not even attack. I don't like that. I think you can definitely attack because then you have the True Name backup. Not great. Sword of Fire and Ice. All right. Unfortunately, we just haven't really drawn into anything, so we couldn't close out the game. And our opponent's just been able to draw into some pretty big bombs that I don't think we're going to be able to deal with. Yeah, interesting they're not attacking with everything. Interesting that they hit the Hex Mage, because at least the Hex Mage I can use as a resource to get rid of Narset. Does this fizzle the card draw because there's no longer a target? Yeah, they no longer draw a card, right? That's pretty big. Oh, there's Dark Depths. Ah, but now they just have the win, right? I guess we'll see. Yeah, because they have 11 with the sword. If they hit us. They're not going to go for it. Wow. That's huge. They had it. I mean, best case here is we gain 20. I think they have a counterspell here as well, but you never know. I mean, we're dead on board, so we have to go for it. And yeah. So this is going to be interesting. I really like Sylvan Library and the Sylvan Safekeepers. I do like the Force Negations to some extent. But there's a world where Abrupt Decay is just better than Force Negation. I do like the Ghost Quarter Caracas, Step, and Bog. I don't mind the fast mana. I do like the Inquisitions and... The Crops is something that I'm not too sure about because of the amount of counter magic they have. Why no Veils? I'm not too sure. Maybe Tom's in the situation where he just doesn't think that he has the green mana open all the time. Or he rather just kind of... He rather goes after the hand than allows stuff to actually get on the stack. But Safekeeper seems great. These 6 seem great. I do like some amount of crop rotation. It might just be a trim on some of our fast mana. I think Reclaim is pretty good. Needle seems pretty good in this matchup because of the amount of targets. Yeah, it might just be trimming here. Something like this. I think because of the Safekeepers, I can trim some Not of This World. I don't think Collector Oof is worth it. I think I just want to be beating my opponent before they get the Sword or Stoneforge package online. And we do have some ways to disrupt it already in Decay, Hand Disruption, and Needle. But if there is a game 3, we can come back to the sideboard and think a little bit more about it. There's a world where Surgical is actually pretty good as well because it hits Swords to Plowshares. This is a pretty meh hand. I'm going to mulligan this. It's a 1-lander. Ooh. Okay. This is interesting. Snow-covered Forest into Needle on Caracas. And then just hopefully get there with the combo. It's a little bit rough because if we draw into Hand Disruption early on, we can't cast it without a black source. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna drop the second library. Oh, sorry, second stage. Negator does -1 Caracas. Maybe Caracas is worth taking out. That's very correct. Takes out 4 needle. Interesting. I'm gonna play this and see if they don't fetch. Yeah, they're gonna fetch. We do know about Caracas, so... I can change this as well to 0, 0. Nice. Crop. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I could crop here for Urborg. But I kind of like just Depths Pass. Depths Pass, and then we actually have the combo up anyway, if it does resolve. Judgment. That's gonna be okay. This is pretty all in, but I feel like it's kind of where I'm at. Oh, okay. Urborg. Black, black. Tap. Yeah, you have faith. You have faith, and sometimes it happens. Haha. That's what I feel with slow depths. You just got to go for it sometimes. Nice. Okay. I feel like that was a bit of a steal. We just didn't have the early game that I really feel you need against a blue-white deck to be able to get there. Okay. The deck I'm playing these days is so consistent. Nice. 80% is very impressive. Negator taking out the needles is really interesting. Maybe I do want to fade on some because they're not great in the opening. Surgical is always interesting because of Swords to Plowshares. I think Caracas can definitely come out. And maybe I just do want to get one extra pedal in here. I guess there's a world maybe where Elvish Spirit Guide is better than Lotus Petal because it can't be hit by even something like a Council's Judgment, which isn't the greatest position for my opponent, but there's probably no reason why. Maybe the black mana is what I want. I need to do this. I need to get both artworks. That's correct. This is 60, which I don't mind. I don't like Oof. I don't like the crops, especially in regards to the double forces. I think I'm okay to Spirit Guide go out. Hey, Kigalius. I can see that... Kigalius? Sorry. I'm going to butcher your name. OETAK -1. Tom actually goes out 2 Spirit Guides. Okay. That's interesting. Maybe then Sylvan Scrying isn't too bad. It is pretty much a demonic shooter in this deck, so we'll see how this goes. Sadly, it's a no land. Otherwise, a lot of gas, but I can't keep this. I can keep this. I'm going to put on the Ghost Quarter because we have the Pithing Needle. That's a pedal? Ah, okay, gotcha. Okay. I mean, again, this is pretty close to a turn 2. Well, it is a turn 2 with turn 1 Needle. So hand disruption turn 1 would be fantastic. You don't think you're ever supposed to cut crop? Yeah, it's interesting. It's just such a blowout if they do have a piece of interaction, which they usually do, but yeah, maybe it's correct to keep them in. Just because it can just win on the spot. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. Wow, they forced that. Okay. I'm going to play the Needle here. I'm going to play the Lotus Petal then. Well, if Tom never takes them out, then I will never take them out. Oh, there's Dark Depths. Interesting. I think here I want to lead on the stage. If I lead on stage, then we can still crop. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. I'll just pass. There's a world where I want to get to crop rotation for step and hold that up. Oh, Stoneforge. What are the chances they have another Force or blue card? I think I'd rather just wait the one turn and then we have natural Dark Depths and then crop rotation for removal spell. Ooh, Thoughtseize is pretty perfect. So now we have up Elvish Spirit Guide for step. Yeah, nice. Oh, double submerge. Oh, but we don't have a forest in play. That is hilarious. So I think here the take is really just sword. Yeah. And then pass. You would go for swords over sword? It's definitely interesting. I feel very good that I have the backup Spirit Guide. They kind of need a brainstorm. They need to like brainstorm into swords and Force of Will. Well, they draw land. Okay. I guess they could Council's Judgment, but then we can just float mana with the Lotus Petal, so I'm not too sure what's going to happen here. Unfortunately for my opponent, I think that is dead. Black. Nice. Okay. A little bit grindier than I would like, but we got there, which is really nice. Always nice, as I say, to win the first one. But where will know? Ah, thank you very much. That's really nice. So Tom Hepp, who is a legend with the deck, is very nice to actually put together a sideboard guide, which is pretty awesome to see. Going over his sideboard and then on the play and on the draw what they take out against each deck, which is very, very cool, and something that I'll definitely have as a resource next to me somewhere. I will be 1 second. Nice. All right. Swelter. Again, a pretty interesting hand. A very interesting hand. No black source, which is pretty huge. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna see how this goes. I'm sure you could mulligan to a better hand, but you know, one black source in this hand is really nice. But to be fair, I don't like keeping hands that don't really have a plan straight away, and this hand doesn't really. We can't really cast anything, so. Unclaimed territory. Oh, this might be humans. Or slivers. Okay, it's gonna be humans. Humans is gonna be pretty tough. Rick, yeah, we might be getting taken down by Rick here. Oh, there's the Oborg. That's what you want to see. It's gonna be Inquisition, and then we just have it turn 2, right? Yeah, I think it's just a Kitesail Freebooter we take here. It is a flyer. I don't think it's worth... Yeah, it's not worth cropping now. We're just going to hope this Meddling Mage doesn't name correctly. I kind of hope they play Vampire Hexmage. Or name Vampire Hexmage, sorry. I could crop in response, but I don't think it's worth it. Fatal Push. Interesting. Okay. That's pretty lucky for us. Huh. It's probably better to play Hexmage. Maybe not. I guess if they have some way to remove the Hexmage in response to crop rotation, it's worse. So I think this is fine. But of course, this doesn't play well into Wasteland, which they do play as a 4 of. So I think playing out the Hexmage is fine, because it gives us a little bit of a buffer as well. in case they do have Wasteland or Karakas. It allows us to play around it a little bit. And actually use our turn for something. So here's going to be Noble Hierarch, which is the last card we know about. There's one more unknown in hand, and they draw a card. So they have 2 unknowns. Duress pretty dead here. This might be a recruiter. Imperial recruiter, yeah, okay. Ooh. That's interesting. I was going to say there could be a world where I'm supposed to Hexmage the Vial in response, but I don't have mana to go off anyway. So I think that I just let them get whatever they get, which I assume is going to be Kite Sail because it's a flyer. Tomic. Oh, okay, but Tomic, I believe. Tomic's going to be pretty good. Yeah, maybe I should have made in response to the activation just because of Tomic. Oh. Well, interesting. Not sure what the play here is. We also have the Karakas to return it to hand, so it can't block, which is pretty great for us. Okay. Nice. Whew. Close one. A close one for sure. Even just like one more turn for my opponent, they could definitely draw into something. Okay, let's see what the master, Mr. Tom Hep, has for humans. I believe it's very close to D&T. Humans is here. Okay, 2 Duress, 2 Elvish Spirit Guide, 1 Bog, and they want 3 Sylvan Safekeeper and 2 Abrupt Decays. Okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense. Abrupt Decay really nice, and Sylvan Safekeeper pretty nice as well. We're taking out Duress, 2 Elvish Spirit Guides, which is interesting because Elvish Spirit Guide doesn't get taxed by Thalia, but Lotus Petal does. So that might even be just something that I ask him, because it could be kind of cool to have here. Hey Gabriel, we are currently 1-0 in this league, and we were fortunate enough to go 5-0 in the last league. Duress, Bog. Yeah, that's interesting to take out the petals instead of the Elvish Spirit Guides. Lotus Petal does produce black. Maybe that is the big reason, because you're also bringing in the Abrupt Decays. Maybe you just want the higher black count. I am definitely going to approve of Tom's decision here. He's a very good depths player. That's pretty good. There's some contention for like Collector Oof just because of how good turning off Vial is, but I think this is pretty good. Yeah, Duress is pretty dead unless you're lucky enough to be on the play and take a Vial. I think because you have Pithy Needle, actually, Vial isn't that bad. This seems pretty good. Hey Gabriel, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? This is okay. I'm going to keep this. I'm probably okay to trade the Lotus Petal and a Decay for a turn on Vial as well. Ooh, Wasteland. Wasteland Pass? Interesting. Can we get a fetch land here? Crop rotation. Okay, let's go for Lotus Petal. This allows us to play the Bayou, go for Reclaimer, and also hold up Crop here. There is a world where I was supposed to play the Lotus Petal as well to play around Thalia's tax. I think that's probably correct. You're from Italy and play Goblins and Slowdaps? Hey, very cool. I hope you're doing okay in Italy. I know it's a pretty tough time over there. Kite Sail Freebooter. I'm probably okay with this because we have the Decay. But it's a great reason why I probably should have played the Lotus Petal just in case. But you're learning Turbo? Okay, cool. That's very sweet. I've been playing a little bit myself. You can find the videos at my YouTube channel, YouTube/Diggs on Twitch. Yeah, they took the Decay. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, Hex Mage? Interesting. Interesting. I mean, that's pretty good. I feel like we just go for it here. Especially seeing that we have the Not of This World for Karakas. They do get to block at least once with the Kite Sail. Oh, no, they don't, because we can then go and get a Step off the crop. Oh, no, we use the crop. I still think it's probably best here. Yeah, we can go get Step off the Reclaimer if we draw into another source. I guess there's no real reason to not use... I can just wait on the crop, right? There's no reason to crop here. I guess the Wasteland is. Yeah, that's yeah. Okay. There is something that can get me really well, is they play Thalia first, we then can't cast the Not of This World. Oh, we can play the Thespian Sage this turn. Wow, okay. Now we can play around Thalia as well, which is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And now if we draw a land, we can also go for Step, which is pretty sweet. Why not use the Reclaimer? The land comes in tapped off Reclaimer. That might be why I didn't use it. Wow. That's really interesting. Because they had its like time. They obviously didn't have much in hand, but could have gotten depths via Reclaimer. Oh, that's very true. Okay. Interesting. Instead of the crop. Yeah, that's probably a lot better. The one reason that I like the Reclaimer over crop in this instance is that I have to draw into a green source to use the crop for Step next turn to get through the Kite Sail, but I don't if I have like Thespian Stage and draw into like another stage, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting point. Maybe I should have or could have used the Reclaimer instead. All right. Twin MTG. Interesting. I think I played against Twin before. Again, really good hand. Turn 1 Thoughtseize off Urborg. Turn 2, we have the combo with Not of This World backup. Let's just hope we're against something pretty fair. Island. Astrolabe. Okay. Interesting. What do I care about here? It's probably Teferi Bounce. It also turns off Force. Maybe not Teferi Bounce, because if they tap out for that... So we have the Not of This World for one thing. But I don't care about Teferi Bounce. It's probably just the Force here, because I care about the crop rotation resolving. Because next turn we get to go Thespian Stage, Lotus Petal, pass, and then hold up the combo with Elvish Spirit Guide crop rotation. So I think it is just the Force, because we care about the crop. I'm not going to play the Petal either, just in case they have... I guess they can't really move it. Yeah, it's an interesting one. This is fine. Okay. Thespian Stage, cast Petal, and just pass. Ponder's pretty good. Hey, McSalmon, a huge thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. A huge thank you. Try out a 4-color red loam list. Hey, McSalmon, if you send me that list, I'll put it on the schedule for sure. A huge thank you for the Prime sub. That means a lot. But yeah, a 4-color red loam list seems really cool. Skyclave seems very cool in the deck. What did the Ponder do? Chose not to shuffle. Interesting. Okay. Ah, one of Matt's ones? Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, that looks really cool. You are more than welcome. Thanks for being a part of it. Ponder. So Force is a big card that I'm kind of weary of. Alright. Black. I guess they could have swords, but we have the Not of This World, so... Crop away this. Get depths. Exile this. Copy. Keep the copy. Sword. Not of This World. Ooh, okay. There we go. Nice. Maybe not, because at that point, the second Ponder probably not. I was thinking about Teferi Bounce at sorcery speed, but once they ponder twice... Yeah, once they play the second Astro, I can actually do it. So, probably not a reason to wait. By waiting, I do give them more time to actually go and get it, but I'm also not showing... I'm not displaying the full combo on the floor. I do have Elvish Spirit Guides and stuff kind of hidden, so they don't 100% know that I have the combo. And I'd rather not give them that information that I do have it while they're pondering. I'd rather let them ponder, thinking that maybe they have a turn. But luckily we got a little bit lucky there. All right, Tom. Help me out here, buddy. we got Snow. It looks like Grixis Delver / Snow, so we'll see how this usually slides. 2 Decays and 2 Veil. Okay, Tom plays Veil. Interesting. I'm going to go for Snoko. So the fast mana comes out. So Karakas. Petals, Spirit Guides, and Needles. Okay. Bring in 3 Safekeeper. Such a good card. I'm going to bring in the Library for sure. The Decays. Ooh, Surgical. Interesting. Yeah, I guess Surgical for swords is pretty nice. What was the Felidar for? I think it might be a brew with the cat combo. Yeah, 100%. Which is pretty cool. I always like to see that in our Legacy. Although it's one of the oldest formats, I really like seeing people who are still brewing and trying out new things, because yeah, it's a sweet way to kind of understand what works and what doesn't in Legacy. It's definitely not as of a sold format as I think most people might think it is. This is pretty good. Turn 2 Hexmage or Sylvan Library with double Corporation backup, and also turn 1 Inquisition. I'm going to keep this. Interesting. I do like the early Inquisitions here as well, because it does play around nicely to Veil of Summer. I'm going to Brainstorm. Okay. Probably putting something like a Dreadhorde Arcanist on top. It's probably a card they want to draw into and play on turn 2. Double Arcanist. That's interesting. I don't want to take the Brainstorm because of Arcanist. So these two I can't take. It's between Arcanist, Astrolabe, and Teferi. They're most likely tapping out next turn for Dreadhorde. And I don't really care about the Teferi because we have a second Hexmage. So I think I just take 1 Arcanist and hopefully the Library can draw into it. The only issue is that if I tap out for Library next turn, then Teferi can bounce it, which is a little bit frustrating. So it might be Teferi that I take because I'm hoping to go Library next turn. Yeah. Not the greatest to leave them with 2 Arcanists, but I think if I want to try to win this game, it's going to involve Sylvan Library in some way. I mean, we do have a pretty good, nice draw of just Dark Depths here, or even a free mana to crop rotate with. Scrying, okay. That's pretty interesting. I'm just gonna get a forest. And then it's between Hexmage and Library. I think it's Library to try to dig for an answer for the Dreadhorde. Astrolabe's okay. I think you got a free Brainstorm here. It's pretty good. I do like the green white lists as well. I know that Dominic Harvey, who's a SEC grinder, a really good player, and also Jarvis Yu have been working on a green white depths list, which I've also been playing a little bit of, just with my own kind of version. Oh, stage. Okay. Oh, and Thoughtseize. Okay. Put on top, but I'm gonna pay for this. I'm gonna Thoughtseize first. I guess if I'm playing this lane, I might as well play it because it does play around Spell Pierce. EE I don't really care about. I think it's just the Dreadhorde here. Spell Pierce is a little bit annoying, but... It's actually an interesting one. The EE I don't care about because they already have Arcanist out on 2, and all our CMCs are just 2 anyway, so I don't care about that. It might just be the Spell Pierce because it kind of screws us around a little bit. And now I don't mind just going scrying for Dark Depths. It also gets to shuffle off the library, which is nice. So we know about these 4. I think I really want free mana so I can next turn cast both Hex Mages and then have something open to cast the crop rotation. They are going to fetch. That's pretty interesting. To me, that kind of seems they have Jace. That's what I always think of. Back to basics would be pretty good. Felidar Guardian. Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cute. Another crop, not the greatest. Oh, Abrupt Decay. Put on top. Put on top. Play Dark Depths. Play Hexmage. And this is an interesting one. I think here we just hold up. Abrupt Decay, then second Hexmage. This is an interesting one because the second Hexmage is pretty nice. It also means they kind of have to deal with at least one Hexmage before they can attack with the Dreadhorde. Why is our opponent playing Cat? I'm not too sure. I think they're playing Saheeli right in there, but I'm not too sure. Hey, thanks, Wolf. Hopefully getting to the second one in this game, but we'll see how it progresses. Obviously can't call anything too easy. Oh, they're going to force this one. Interesting. Maybe pitching the Ponder? Oh, wow, okay. Alright. They're going to ponder first, okay. Green Source wins next turn. I think here I'm pretty happy to go for it in end step because worst case they have a Swords to Plowshares and we just get to use Sylvan Library so much. But now they're in an interesting position because they kind of need a Bolt to deal with one Hex Mage and then a Bolt to deal with the other, I guess. They hit Plow with Brainstorm earlier. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't, I could definitely see that. So what they could do here is, if I double block, remove one of the Hex Mages, and then the other Hex Mage doesn't really do anything. So I think I'm okay just not doing anything here. We'll see what the Ponder does. Chose not to shuffle. Have they played a land this turn? Yeah, so the issue is that if I double block and they have Lightning Bolt or Swords to Plowshares for one of them, then that one goes, I deal first strike, and then Dreadhorde just kills the second Hex Mage without actually killing the Dreadhorde Arcanist. So I think I let the 1 damage through, and I'll just try to play to end step. So they do have a third land, okay. Swords is fine. So Swords is great here because the Sylvan Library. Now this is interesting. I think I want to actually not pay here and just shuffle with crop rotation at some point. I don't think I want the third crop. Maybe I do. Swords on this. That's interesting. I'm going to actually protect this Hex Mage. Oh, they're going to force this. That's interesting. I think I just let this go, and then I can crop in their end step, or if they cast a Teferi, I can crop in response. Oh, there's Saheeli Rai. That's gonna be okay. That is fine. And now when this one hits the Saheeli Rai, I can now Abrupt Decay. Just don't have Veil? Surely it's not 4 color. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, the fact they're forcing is pretty interesting. I thought it was going to be 3 fairy, but it wasn't. All right. Duress. Duress is pretty free. Or maybe they have Surgical? If they have Surgical, we have Crop Rotation for Bog ourselves, which isn't great, but there's no other reason why they would stop in Draw Step here. I think the plan over 2 turns is allow them to attack in. Another Felidar. Okay. Okay. Maybe I just go for it now, or like in their turn, instead of going for like Crop Rotate into Bojuka Bog. I probably don't really care about that. Oh, Needle. Interesting. We don't have double green, unfortunately. I didn't Duress because I thought they might have a land. They pondered and kept 1 card in hand, so I didn't think they would have a card that they would actually cast. I thought they would keep the land and then keep what they wanted to draw on top. I guess if we make it, we just gain another 20 here, which isn't the worst. Oh. No, I know what we do. I think we copy Bayou with Bojuka Bog with Thalia. Yeah, I think I just copy the Bayou here. Oh, there's no targets for them? Wow, okay. Yeah, you can target swords, that's fine. I think here I'm happy to crop away the Thespian stage. Just use my mana and also get a shuffle off the Sylvan Library. Do I want the Thoughtseize? That's an interesting question. I think I do. And then put this on top. And then I can play the stage, which is great for the crop. I'm going to Duress first, just to not lose life. Prismatic Vista, okay. Now I'm pretty happy just to pass back. What do they draw? It has to be something good, or else we just have it. I guess, no, they can't even swords their own creature to try to get above 20 life. Well, there's Spell Pierce, that's fine, okay. Oh, haha, that was close. I mean, they have one card and it has to be Swords to Plowshares that they drew? No, surely not. Oh my gosh. Alright. Okay, there's Hex Mage, okay. Black, Hex Mage, green, Safekeeper, and then probably Upkeep Crop. Maybe not. Yeah, I think I do Upkeep Crop because Force beats me. I think I crop away the stage. Maybe I'll crop away the Bayou to play around Submerge. It doesn't matter because the Safekeeper. Okay. It's just Deathspin Stage because it's named by Pithing Needle. Get Depths. And then is there any reason to make it here? I don't think so. They're going to crack. Double Swords is fine. And I think here we just bounce. They only have one card left, so I think we just leave the last Bayou for the Dark Depths. Surely this is good enough. Oh, we can block. Interesting. Okay, there's no reason not to block. It's not like they can deluge. Ah, yes! Haha! The grind is real and it feels good! Haha! Nice. There we go. That was a good one. There's a bit of patience in there. Ah, nice. Alright. Nice. That feels good. Oh. Deck is sweet. Deck is so much fun. I'm sorry to those of you who came in to watch Maverick, but Depths has just been really nice tonight. The hands have been, yeah, really nice. Yeah, Bojuka Bog would be pretty good there as well. There was a point where I wanted to Bojuka Bog, but my opponent didn't have anything in play or in the graveyard that they could proactively use with the Dreadhorde Arcanist, which was kind of nice. To quote Wizards, Depths is Maverick adjacent. Interesting. Yeah, it's a sweet deck, and I think that a lot of Maverick players would like to play it, or would enjoy playing it if they did try it out. Maybe Surgical then? Maybe Surgical then. Sorry, what do you mean by maybe Surgical then? This list has been really nice. Oof. Veil would be kind of cool in the deck. I believe I play... Where is Tom's? So Tom plays 3 Sylvan Safekeeper, 2 Force of Vigor, 2 Abrupt Decay, 1 Sylvan Library. Ah, no Mindbreak Traps. So in place of the Mindbreak Traps, he plays Veil of Summer, which is interesting. The one thing that I do like here... Surgical for Plows. I think we brought in Surgical for Plow, which is nice. One thing that I do like about Mindbreak Trap is that it plays around Veil of Summer, which means you can hit something... like Grape Shot. This is an interesting one. It's kind of one piece of the combo with a green source as the Spirit Guide. I don't think this is a keep. Definitely an interesting hand. Spirit Guide. Stage. I'm going to mulligan it. I don't think it has too much of a plan. I don't want to rely on my green sources, the Elvish Spirit Guide. We do have a fair amount of drawers that just aren't green sources, so I am going to mulligan once. We are on the draw as well, which is nice. This is okay. A lot of fast mana. Hexmage is nice because it means that Sylvan Scrying and Crop can just go and get Dark Depths. So I don't mind this. I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to bottom the Lotus Petal and keep the Elvish Spirit Guide. I think this is pretty good. I like that Spirit Guide can just play from hand. You don't have to show that you have Lotus Petal. Opponent on 6. Misty, okay. Underground Sea. Oh, is this gonna be Hogak? It is Hogak. Okay. Huh. Well... Oh, Pachuca Bog naturally is really nice. I think here I go fetch for Bayou. Cast Inquisition. And then if they have Altar, yeah, we can take the Altar. I don't want to use the Spirit Guide yet. Just in case. I guess my opponent does play Cabal Therapy, so there is some reasoning to play the Needle out now on Altar, especially if they draw it. I'm going to wait one turn. I'm just going to be a little more patient here. Bloodgast, okay. This is all fine. Stage, okay. That's interesting. Now I'm pretty happy just to go Hexmage and play Needle on Altar. Altar of Dementia. Now we have some good blocks as well with First Strike. Really nice against Bloodghast and Gravecrawler. Probably see it as a free attack. Means they draw land. Depths. Nice. Pretty perfect. Probably don't mind attacking here. Just to put them down to 17. Yeah, they're just going to concede. Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. We do have a pretty good guide as well from Tom on Hogak. I mean, we have a pretty good guide for every matchup, let's be honest. Let me quickly find it. Okay, so Hogak is in 1 Decay, 2 Surgical, 2 Leyline, and he's got 2 Veil. I don't have 2 Veil, so I'm going to bring in the extra Abrupt Decay. And perhaps the Collector Oof, just because it's a way to stop the Altar, which I think is relevant. Okay, so Hogak. Out is 3 Not of This World. That makes sense because most of their interaction is Assassin's Trophy on Thespian Sage or Dark Depths. 1 Step is going out. 1 Petal, 1 Spirit Guide, and 1 Duress. Cool. Nice. All right. This is a pretty nice hand because it's a turn 1 Needle, turn 2 Abrupt Decay, and turn 3 combo. It doesn't have Leyline, but I think it's good enough. And even if they have Hand Disruption, we have Verdant Catacombs Lotus Petal for turn 1 Abrupt Decay. Crab is pretty good. Crab's nearly a reason to just go for turn 1 Decay on Crab. This is actually a really interesting one. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So we do have options. Wolf? You there? I think it's just so good to go... I think Decay is just best here. We can hold up Crop for Bojuka Bog, but I kind of want to use the Crop for Dark Depths. So I think I am just going to go for Urborg, this. Get rid of the Crab now. Just because it's such an engine to the deck, it's such an enabler, that I'm pretty happy to get rid of it. Careful's going to be okay. Careful's going to be interesting to see what they discard. If it is an enabler like Bridge, or maybe like a Bloodghast, or Gravecrawler, or Vengevine. There's a few. 1 Vengevine, 1 land. Okay. Gravecrawler. Okay. Verdant. Let's just go for Verdant holding up Crop Rotation. Needle naming altar. Wow, no follow-up? Interesting. Not even creature to get the Vengevine? Okay. Ooh, depths. Okay, we play the depths here because it's faster. So if I play the stage, we have 2 mana to use to activate it and turn it into Dark Depths, but no mana left over for crop. But if we play Dark Depths here, we have the mana for it, using the Urborg in the depths to float to, sack the Urborg to crop rotation off the Verdant, and then we can go and get stage and light it up, which is pretty good. Crab's gonna be okay. Land, alright. Fetch. They only have 2 cards left. Interesting. Interesting. I can take a turn here. They hit a second Vengevine. So I can take a turn, because if I draw into a Hand Disruption spell, it's really good. Or if I just hold up crop rotation, then I also have mana for Thespian Stage and also crop rotation. So being at 16, I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to untap. Stage. Yeah, it's a tough one, because of course the more cards I give them, the worse it turns out. Crab's going to mill. Another Gravecrawler is interesting. I'm going to cast that. Oh, now they're tapping all of that? Wow. Yeah, they can't. They can't tap out a green, or else they obviously don't have Assassin's Trophy. Wow. So now we get to go... That was actually pretty insane. Sack this. Go and get a Bayou. Crop away the Bayou. Go and get Bojuka Bog. Bog target you. Vengevines don't come back. And now we have the Dark Depths up and they have no mana up. So thankfully being patient here was pretty nice, because it just gave us so much information about what they had. And they're going for it, so we can just make it here. There's no reason to play around anything. Copy Dark Depths. Keep the copy. They can't even submerge us, which is really nice. Yeah, thankfully we get there. Okay, nice. 4-0. Feels good. One more. One more, and we can hopefully get the double 5-0. That'd be pretty awesome. Hope you guys are enjoying Depths. I'm not the greatest player around, but hopefully it's okay. Yeah, 18-2 in games is really wild. The decks just really perform well, and I think, personally, I feel myself, I'm a pretty patient and safe player, which can be a bad thing, because sometimes I can just play around too much, which you should probably try not to do in Magic most of the time. But I think with a deck like Depths, I do take that extra turn to maybe be able to cast one more Hand Disruption spell or hold up one more thing with crop rotation, which sometimes isn't great. But I think tonight, as an example, it has helped a bit. Where I have just been able to play around what I kind of think my opponent has, and luckily I've been in a situation where I do have the time to do it, so I have gone and do it. Yeah, I think with Maverick especially, there are, you can make a you can make a wrong decision, and I've done it many times. You can make a wrong decision on turn 2, and on turn 15, it's finally snowballed into a loss. Like, you make one little decision and it just doesn't go right, and then it just snowballs into a massive effect on your opponent, gives them so much momentum, and you just can't come back from it. But yeah, it is nice. I definitely I do think there are times where you just have to make your opponent have it with depths, but there are some times as well you get where, even though it is turbo depths, you do get to play some conservative matches, which is cool, and it can work out pretty nicely. So yeah, depths has been pretty solid. I'm just happy to be on the trophy board. That's like, I'm just an FNM kind of guy. This is really nice. Hey, Scrub Ranger. I like the name. Scrub Ranger is probably one of my favorite silver bullets in Maverick, so that's very cool. Up against Basuda. Ooh! Oh, so close. I'm gonna keep this. This is pretty sweet. Yeah, it's very true. I know there are people who are fans of Dark Depths in Maverick, which is kind of cool as well, because it is a bit of a backdoor win. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Chalice for 1 isn't too bad here. Yeah, okay. This is actually interesting, because if my opponent's on some sort of blue deck, then there might be a world where I'm supposed to just go for it. Thespian Stage. There is a world where I trade the Hex Mage with the Chalice to put Chalice on 0. Ooh, Mono Red Prison. Okay. That's a little bit scary. Still, I'm probably happy just to go for turn 1 Hex Mage here. I don't believe we have a main deck out to Blood Moon or Magus of the Moon, which is pretty rough. So hopefully they have a Goblin instead, or a Trinisphere. Ah, rough. Alright. Oh, Lotus Petal's cool. There might be a world where we just kind of play the Hex Mage fight and go at it with Hex Mages. I could cast the Elvish Spirit Guide, but I think it's better to cast the Hex Mage, especially with First Strike. Oh, I can't because I need double. Yeah, okay. I'm on the plane of Elvish Spirit Guide. Nice. That's a good play. Thank you very much. I like that. Yeah, for some reason I thought I could cast the Hex Mage, but of course, that is not going to happen. Hey, Walrus Boy. I like the name. How did you get Walrus Boy 71? I mean, we do have a 4-turn clock. If they don't have anything. If they have a non-creature hand, it's pretty good. Hey, Oakman, thank you very much for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. You guys in chat, if you're not a follower, I would love it. I usually stream twice a week. Usually pretty fair Magic. I'm going to call Green Black Turbo Depths here fair. Because in the scheme of things, it's okay. But Yeah, I'm a big fan of Legacy right now. What can I draw that's good? Okay, that's a green source. I think here I'm just going to attack with the Vampire Hexmage to hold back the War Boss if I can. Oh, I could block. I don't know why I didn't block. That's, yeah. I was looking at chat, that's why. When I'm busting out 3 mana 2/2s, it's fair magic. That's fair enough. I will take that. Chrome Mox. Okay. Chrome Mox is pretty good because if they get a Chandra down here, they can deal with the Hexmage and attack with the Legion War Boss, but if they don't, then we'll see what happens. Attack with both, okay. Block 1. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's actually just game, unfortunately. We can't beat the P and K. But this matchup is going to be interesting. I'm going to quickly look at Tom's board. I do really like that Force of Vigor is very good. Force is definitely coming in. Abrupt Decays are definitely coming in. Collective is interesting because it does turn off Chrome Mox. It also turns off Karn into liquid metal coating, so I think that's probably relevant enough. Looking at... I think Bojuka can come out and probably Karakas, but that is going to be interesting to think about. Yeah, Magus is really dangerous. Where is it? There we go. Okay, Tom, let's help out. So we're playing against Mono Moonstompy. So 2 Force, 2 Decay, and a Library. 2 Force, 2 Decay, and a Library. Doesn't bring an Oof. Interesting. Let's see what they board out. Tom usually boards out against Moonstompy. 2 Needle, 3 Not of This World. Not of This World's. Ghost Court is an interesting one. Maybe Ghost Court is what I can drop. I guess Ghost Quarter means I could Ghost Quarter my own land in response to a moon. This seems okay. Yeah, Magus is really rough. See how this plays out. I mean, it would be nice to go 5-0, but the only other time I've played this deck and played against Moon, I've lost. I did not make the sideboard guide. That is Thomas Hepp, who is a legion of the deck. It's really good. It's actually a free source that he's written up, which is really cool. And it literally goes through every single, pretty much, deck you're going to play against. Just showing his deck, what he plays on the play and on the draw, which is really cool. I will put it in chat. There you go. This is an interesting one. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Thoughtseize if I really want. I also have access to basics, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to keep this. I'll definitely go for a swamp first. Thoughtseize my opponent. Double Chrome Mox. Interesting. I don't really care about the Goblin Rabble Master because we have the Hex Mage. Argie's looks pretty devastating. Especially if they go Chrome Mox, Angie. The file is named Sideboard Suggestions, but is actually Holy Scriptures. I love that. I'm gonna take a quick snip of that because that is hilarious. I think it's the Anji here that I'm actually really afraid of, because the Chandra and Rebel Master are kind of answered by the Hex Mage. I could also take a Chrome Mox, but I don't think that's good. If they top deck a Soul Land, it's really tough because then they get to play. I mean, if they top deck like a Moon Effect, it's pretty bad, and I could stop that by taking a Chrome Mox. But I think it is just the Anji. Taking a Chrome Mox is interesting though, because it kind of makes the second Thoughtseize a lot better. Because if they just go untap, draw, Chrome Mox Chandra, Chrome Mox Rebel Master, play something. This is a tough one. This is a real tough one. I think it is a Mox just to slow them down. Maybe not. I'm gonna take the Ravager. It's definitely the one that I care about the most. They don't have Simian Spirit Guide, so they can't cast it here, which is nice. No Chrome Mox. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Oh, Depths. Okay. I think now it is just buy you into Hexmage and then next turn Dark Depths and hope that's good enough. One card I probably have to think about as well is Ensnaring Bridge, which can be pretty good. There's Chrome Mox pitching Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, what was the other card they drew? Oh, another Chrome Mox. Okay. Pitching Rabble Master, perhaps? Chandra. Okay. Well, now we just get to trade. Depths. Okay. They have one card left, so we can Thoughtseize them. Khan, sweet. Play stage and go and get Forest, so that we aren't taken off by our Blood Moon. Nice. And then just fade one turn. Please fade. Please fade. No Blood Moon, no Magus. Oh, Chandra's pretty good. Okay. Why not hold up? Why not Thoughtseize before and fetch and make the next turn Hexmage and Depths? I think because I wanted to get the Depths in play, or the Hexmage in play, just in case they did play something like a Chandra. But I think maybe I just rushed that as well, and I didn't really consider just playing Thoughtseize because I saw the 2 mana. Okay. Sideboarding, I don't know if it changes on the play or draw. I don't think so. Let's have a quick look. Moon. No, it doesn't change. Okay. There's a little bit of me wants to bring in the needles. What does chat think of on the draw taking out something like probably Duress, and then bringing in these just to know that I have more needles for planeswalkers like Chandra and Khan? I kind of like this, or maybe even just like take out one Duress, bring in one needle. I think I like taking out Duress over the Inquisitions because Inquisition can get both Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon, but Duress can't. You like Duress? Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, maybe, obviously, Tom knows what he's doing, so maybe that's why... Let's just go for the 5-0. Really want to see Force of Vigor. Interesting. I think I'll keep this. Is it a keep? 3 mana. This is an interesting hand. Hey, Jerry Freeman, welcome. Hope you're well. Luckily got the 5-0 in the first league, and now we're 4-0 playing for the second 5-0 in the second league. This is game 3 as well, against Moon Stompy. We lost in game 1 to a Magus of the Moon, and then game 2 we were lucky enough just to naturally get the Dark Depths combo when it didn't have an answer for it. Not having a yeah. I think I'm gonna... What is this hand doing? That's the big question. What is the plan with this hand? I'm gonna draw, hopefully, a red source. A black source, sorry. Like a Verdant Catacombs would be okay. Get a swamp. I mean, that's probably best. If I don't, I can also Forest Spirit Guide Scrying. Hey C4, we're in game 3, so we're on the draw. I'm gonna mull once. I really want Decay or Force of Vigor. Okay, interesting. Opponent's on Moon Stompy. I think I'll keep this because of the double petals, and I'm gonna bottom the second stage. And just hope they go like turn 1 Planeswalker. That would be awesome. Chalice. Okay, Chalice is actually really good here. Thoughtseize. Yep. Maybe there's a line with stage is just better because of Dark Depths off the top. Moon. Yep. Hexmage is interesting, but I'm not sure I want to put everything into it yet. I'm just going to pass. Rebel Master's pretty good. Yeah, Hexmage can make Chalice 0. I think I just have to play the Hexmage here, unfortunately, to soften up this blow from Rabblemaster. But the Chalice just lines up so well. Yeah, First Strike is nice. I just hope they don't have a follow-up Planeswalker. Yeah, I think DD into Force is really the only thing I can do here. It's pretty good. Oh my god, I went to block and it sacked Hex Mage and that's rough. I think that's just game, unfortunately. Rough. Moon is definitely the deck that I just can't beat with this deck. Rough. Yeah. That's cool. We had some good games. And a 4-1 isn't anything to scoff at. So I'm very happy with a 4-1. Let's be honest. A 4-1 and a 5-0 is pretty sweet. Rough. Yeah. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one. Just Blood Moon is so good, and the Chalice is there as well. It kind of makes me just want Force of Vigor even more than just a 2 of. But yeah, that was pretty sweet. I gotta be pretty happy with that. And to have you guys in chat as well is very cool. 11. I don't think I could do another league. No, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta call it here. Here was the deck. Really fun. Love playing it. It's obviously a really powerful deck. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, the Force of Vigors are great, and I guess the opening hand would have been okay. What was it? Let's quickly go back to it and assess how it would have been in regards. It's just tough. Like Moon going turn 1 Chalice into turn 2 Moon into Goblin Rabblemaster into Pier and Kirandalar. You just need I can't that's just how the deck wins sometimes, and I can't keep up with that. Game history. I believe it was this one. Replay game 3. Would I play Lance sometimes in the future? Yeah, definitely. I think Lance is a really fun deck, and I think I would really enjoy it, and hopefully be okay with it. Alright, so we'll play. Yeah, so this is what we mulled. Which, the Crop and the Thoughtseeds are turned off by turn 1 Chalice. We would have a turn 2 Scrying or Elvish Spirit Guide. Oh, sorry, turn 2 Scrying or Collector Oof. But again, it's just, yeah, it's a tough one. It's one to think about and come back to maybe. I think I will start doing some recorded videos on my YouTube channel, which I will just plug in the comments, where I will just go back over games and just talk about them, because I think that's really good as well. I think that's good content, which I hope you guys enjoy. But that is it for me. I'm going to find out who else is streaming right now. Hopefully someone else playing Legacy. If you guys want to find me on YouTube, you can find me there in the comments. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me here as well, of course, as well. You can find me at my site, thegreensunzenith.com, which is a website dedicated to the Legacy Maverick archetype. Is there any Legacy? Marin, you're more than welcome. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch as well, I would very much appreciate it. I'm getting pretty close to 1,500, which is very cool, and I appreciate every single one of you. I don't know if we have any other players. I see Magus is playing. Mo Panda is playing some Legacy. Canister. Cooker Combo Maker. I'll find someone. Oh, standard. Rough. Wow, literally no one is on. Alright, it's going to be Mo Panda. A huge thank you once again. Of course, I will be back on Sunday morning with the stream. Not too sure what I'll play, but I'll hopefully get a Depths deck in there in the meantime. But yeah, that's it. Enjoy your weekends coming up. Stay safe, and I hope you guys enjoy Mo Panda's stream. Thanks again. My name is Dukes on Twitch. See you guys later. There we go.